God bless. It never fails. No matter which grease gun you pick up, it's always going to be empty or almost empty. Doesn't matter if you just filled it up 5 minutes ago. You pick it up, it's going to be almost empty. Almost like the mystery of the left-handed gloves just mysteriously disappearing from our shop. All of them, every single one. I don't get it. I will swear until the day I go to the grave that we've got a gnome running around the shop, running all of our grease guns out of grease and stealing all the left-hand gloves. Promise you, that's the only explanation that fits. Today I reckon it's time to go cut some beans, get started on the next crop, and hopefully our first good crop of the year. I'm here working on the combine, getting it serviced and changed over to beans. They still over there washing on the corn head till the dew dries off. Now that we got our disaster corn crop out of the way, it's gonna be real interesting to see just what our other crops are gonna do. I got pretty high hopes for our beans. I think they're gonna do pretty dang good. But it's just going to be a prelude to our cotton crop, I believe. Ooh, 105 gallons. That's probably about $370 at today's prices. She's always a thirsty girl. All right, ain't too much to changing this thing over to from corn to beans. A few days ago, Nate replaced the concaves from our round bar corn concaves to our large wire soybean concaves. I already got my chopper speed swapped from low speed to high speed. Now I just got to swap the rotor gearbox from first gear to second gear. Ooh, I think the teeth might have actually lined up for once. And then all the other adjustments are going to be from the cab. So finished getting this thing serviced, and I'll see you back out here in the field. Alrighty, let's try this, see what's going to tear up. I think I got all my settings right. We're going to start off, get the combine set and calibrate, make sure we're not having any losses, and getting our moisture sensor and our yield sensors calibrated where we got accurate readings. Then hopefully we'll be able to blow and go. We got 81 acres on this farm. That's about the extent of our full season beans, but I got 70 acres right down the road to custom harvesters for somebody else, so it'll keep us busy for a couple days anyway. Got beans going in the tank. Still got a few green pods out here. Well, looks like we got a problem. Made one round around the field and felt something weird from the back end, pretty bad vibration, and as you can see, I got a chopper knife got thrown off, threw the chopper out of balance, so had to make a quick trip to Trenton and get another set of knives and slap her on real quick and see if that fixes the problem. The one thing that I do not like about the design of these Case IH combines is it's got an internal chopper way back up here in the back end of the combine rather than being down there ground level where the spreaders are. You get 42 years old and a little overweight, it ain't near as easy to get back up in here as it used to be. But anyway, because this chopper spins so fast, it's got to be perfectly balanced. I mean, we're going to put this blade on here, but the one on the other side is wore and it won't be the same weight as this new one, so we got to replace the one on the other side too. All right, Nate, spin the chopper around. Hey, turn that light back on. Nate.
Yeah.
Turn that light switch back on.
It is on.
No, it's the other one.
That one?
Yeah. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good to make another few rounds. Just in case you wonder what it looked like, this is the back of the rotor that does all the threshing, and then it ejects all the material right here into the chopper pan, and then the chopper sizes the residue and throws it back here to where the spreaders are at. Oh yeah, she's nice and smooth now. Real nice and smooth. Glad I caught that before we did any damage to the chopper bearing. That would have been a little bit more in-depth repair. Alright, maybe we can get our calibration loads done now. Well, we still got some juicy spots out here, that's for sure. Down here in the better spots. Of course, that's just going to be kind of a very minor part of the field. Most of the rest of them are good and ready, and probably not too far from starting to pop out of the pods. This spot down here though, boy, she's tough and making her ground. Saying 22% soybeans. They all going in the bin. We'll be able to blend them and dry them down. I don't know, maybe I should have done a little spot spraying with paraquat about a week ago and gotten these spots nice and crispy. Yeah, I'd say that they're a little wet right there. But that's kind of the thing with late Group 4 beans in West Tennessee. Unless you burn them down with gramoxone, you got a choice. You can either cut them still a little too green and have some green beans in there, maybe some green pods in there, or you can let them all dry down, but then you risk losing a lot to the pods shattering, and from just from the constant getting wet every night and then drying down every day really weakens the pod and makes them want to shatter. So when you got late Group 4 beans in West Tennessee, there really ain't no way to get a really good clean sample unless you spray them with paraquat or you get a frost. Either one will do the trick, but it won't be October until this weekend. We still several weeks away from first frost. I hope anyway. Well, I know these beans ain't much to look at. They're really short because of the bad drought that we had. But I tell you what, they're yielding a whole lot better than what they look. When I was doing my crop tour, I was saying, I thought that the hills probably had about 50 bushel potential, and what we've harvested so far, which has been the worst of the worst on this farm as far as the thin ground and hills, and we're right there around 50 bushels an acre. And then when we get down in the flat spots, the places we've got deeper soils, we're seeing anywhere from 60 to 80 bushels an acre. So we got about about 25% of this farm is real good bottom ground. We haven't gotten to it yet, but I really expect some big things out of that bottom ground. Well, I will say one thing: these are the highest yielding short. These are the highest yielding ugly short beans I've ever cut. Normally, when I'm cutting beans this short, they're somewhere between 25 and 35 bushels an acre. I'm kind of liking them though. They're yielding good for the year that we had. Not going to be record breaking for me by any chance, but for the type of year that we had, they're yielding good, and they're really easy to cut. They still got some green stems out there, but because they're so short, it's not near as much material going through the combine, and I can mow on through these pretty dang quick. It also helps we got, you know, probably about a 10-15 mile per hour northerly breeze today too. That ain't hurting things at all. Alright, we got everything filled up. And Kelly's still out with COVID. She's about over it, but she's still not feeling too good. And I know that's the thing. Oh, COVID can take a long time to kind of recover from. I know it took me a while to recover from. So we're right here by the house. So told her I just do the hauling myself. So Nate's gonna carry me back, get the semi truck, and we'll get her loaded up and get back to cutting. Alright, while the air's airing up on the truck, I know a video or two ago I mentioned we had to go get the truck, but I failed to tell you exactly what we had done to it. If you remember back during corn harvest, Kelly thought she had a problem with the truck, and what we took it to get fixed for was not anything related to that. I never really found anything wrong with the truck. Anyway, the AC was not blowing very much. It only blow on low speed, and come to find out that there's a wiring harness damaged under the cab. They had to repair that. Check engine light was on, and there was some kind of a coolant sensor that had gone bad. They fixed that, and then I had an air line leaking on the truck. They fixed that. Nothing major, just an old truck in need of general repair is all it was. Hopefully it'll be good to go for the rest of harvest now. Oh yeah, one other thing, this plastic frame of the dash back behind here was broke, and whenever we pressed in our brake knobs, it would push that in real bad. So I had them fix that too. That's a pretty expensive piece of plastic though. It's like $470. Peek in here and make sure my spreader's spreading. It's moving, but it's moving slowly. Oh yeah, she's spinning good now. Yes, we had a little bit of a blockage up there at the top because we got the Versa loop that goes over to bin number 4, and it's got to fall through the Versa loop before it gets to the spout for this. So there's probably a little bit of blockage from corn harvest. So she's doing good now. Well, now that we gotten out of the thinnest hill ground over there, we got into some pretty dang good beans here. Well, some numbers right there to be proud of. Heck yeah. Oh, what might have been if we had a little bit more moisture, one more rain shower. It's pretty sad when you're making more bushels per acre in a soybean crop than you did your corn crop. Not only that, but more bushels per acre at twice the price per bushel, with probably about $100 to $125 per acre less input cost too. Well, at least the soybean crop is paying the way. Well, we done made it down to the bottom. We're trying to get our Pioneer variety plots laid off to cut first thing in the morning, and combination of big tall green stems and the sun getting low, boy, these things done got tough. They yielded mighty good though. You know, they're averaging probably about 70 or so down here. Kind of what I thought they'd be. Yeah, it looks like, you know, so far I've pegged this soybean crop pretty closely. Anyway, we had kind of a rough start to the day, but had a heavy dew late start, then had to go to town and get a new set of chopper knives. But after that, we done pretty dang good. We covered over half this farm, so shouldn't have no problem at all getting this farm done tomorrow and getting moved over to my neighbor's and get started on his beans. Anyway, I'm gonna cut just a little while longer and we're gonna shut it down. I got me and the owners of the Zombie Trail, we gotta paint our scenes tonight with that fluorescent paint and get ready for our grand opening this weekend here in a couple nights. So I know it'll be past opening night by the time y'all see this, but sure would love to see y'all come down to the zombie paintball and also the Camp Blood, which is opening up for the first time in 2 years this year. We've had that part closed the last 2 years due to COVID. Anyway, it's a haunted house side and it's not family friendly. It's extremely scary and aggressive. So we got with that, the Zombie Trail and the corn maze, we got something for everybody. You will find something that you like out there, but we'll be open every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night in the month of October, plus Halloween. Located at 1533 Mason Grove Road in Humboldt, right past our shop. We're about 15 minutes away from Jackson. If you're coming a long ways, got plenty of accommodations for overnight stay there in Jackson. So y'all looking for something to do with a Halloween theme, I'd sure love it if y'all come visit us. Anyway, I'll bring y'all back here in the morning.